I've meditated every day, almost every day, for the past 5 years, and I wanted to share with you my biggest takeaways and my biggest 3 lessons from meditating. I don't think it's a practice I'm ever going to stop doing because it's literally changed my entire life. My whole reality has changed. Hi, Bean. And honestly, I think it's become my whole personality now. So, welcome to my new channel. My number one biggest takeaway is that you are not your thoughts. I am not my thoughts. When I gained this awareness for the first time and I was able to view my thoughts from an overhead, almost like third party perspective, rather than me being in them and those thoughts being me and me identifying with them, it switched everything for me. Because if I no longer had to identify with these thoughts that were on loop my entire life, then I could just create new ones. I could just create a new script, embody a new script. It was crazy because the more that I sat and I watched, the more I realized that it wasn't me. It was just a program that my mind was running on from a very young age. Most of the scripts that my mind was playing out, I got from my childhood. And it was very evident seeing the specific words and the specific feelings attached to those words. And even sometimes during meditation, like old memories would come up of where I even got that thought loop from, that belief system from. So being able to recognize that I'm not my thoughts completely disconnected me and then reconnected me. I also learned that your thoughts plus your feelings create your reality. And I could very evidently see that in my old character, my old ego, my old self's thoughts and feelings. I was on a constant loop of chronic anxiety, feeling like I was always being judged. I think the school nurse, no, not nurse, the school counselor, she said I had anticipatory anxiety. So I literally lived with anxiety my entire life. It was almost chronic to the point where I couldn't go to school. I I would make myself feel so sick before going that I would miss more school days than I would attend, which became an issue in elementary school at a certain point. But anyways, my whole life was running on these thoughts, and I didn't know my life apart from them. When I began meditating, I saw that that anxiety was not me. And it created this beautiful space for those feelings to finally be expressed. And when those feelings were then expressed, related to the anxiety and those thoughts, it's like it was gone. It was released. It was unraveled. There was this knot that was trying to finish, and I never fully allowed the feeling to be felt. So it just kept looping my whole life. So sitting with it allowed it to be released. So that was one of the things. I mean, I think I kind of mixed two into one there, but life-changing anyways. You are not your thoughts and your feelings create your reality. My number 2 biggest realization was that everything you want is just an excuse for an emotion that you're trying to feel. Everything I externally desire. I'm not talking about your 4 basic needs. I'm talking about, let's use an example. I used to break out with acne all the time. Okay, and I wanted clear skin really badly. I tried everything I possibly could try to get that clear skin. But it wasn't the physical thing that was going to heal me. I took it into meditation. I realized that I wasn't allowing myself to fully feel whole and secure in the area of being seen in my skin. And when I realized that there was this block there, I'd go and I visualize myself having clear, beautiful skin. Because beforehand it was not clear at all, and it was a really big insecurity of mine. So it kept perpetuating that insecurity, trying to find an external solution. So I went in meditation, and when I visualized myself with clear skin, the feelings of wholeness wouldn't come up at first. At first there was this blocked energy, and it was like this knot, that was like, oh, this is never going to happen. You're not worthy enough of this. This is not who you are. This is not your character. And it was almost like, yeah, my old script, my old self, ego, was almost addicted to playing in that role of, my name's Datrie and I don't have clear skin. And it might sound surface level or silly, but to me, it was like, it actually meant a lot to me, dealing with it. And like the way it made me feel was not great about myself. And when I finally sat with that feeling, and I didn't see the thoughts as the truth, I was just watching the script play out. Under it was this feeling of unworthiness. And when I sat with it long enough and I untangled it, it released. And then through that energetic release in my body, then my skin started to clear up. It wasn't something externally that I had to go and get. So when I say everything you want is just an excuse for an emotion that you're trying to feel, I never allowed myself to feel secure inside. So that insecurity manifested externally. And for me, that was in my skin. So that is just one small example. It applies to everything that I think I'm separate from. And it's crazy because it's like finding the secret hack to life. Manifest anything that you want, create anything that you desire by just giving yourself the feeling first and embodying it. And then you're shifting into a completely different reality. And I know some people take meditation far into just spirit. And I tried that at first too. In the very beginning of my meditation days, I was like, okay, I have to give up everything. Like monk journey, I have to become a hippie and give it all up and live in a forest. And my boyfriend and I did that for a while. And then as we kept up the practice, we realized, I kind of want to experience this life too. Like, why am I demonizing experiencing what I feel drawn to experiencing? Because we are also living in this body. We are also living in our egos. And that's not a bad thing. I think being able to combine both of them, knowing that you are not fully your body and knowing that you're not fully your thoughts, that you are so much more than that, but then still living in this life and experiencing what you want to experience is an amazing thing to do. That's why we're here. So as of right now, I don't take meditation as far as a monk would, where I completely give it all up and I just remain in that spirit realm of just being pure awareness of everything. But it's like a dance. Like, my boyfriend wrote this song. It's called Presence is a Dance. And it really is. It's like you're dancing in and out of spirit and then ego, or just presence in general, and then back to ego and da da da. And like, I feel like that's just how the world works. And before I was so mad if I realized that I was operating in my ego, and ego just means who you think you are, right? So it's this realm of like separation or perceived separation. Leaning into my third thing, the realization that we are all one. And that's a big one. Wait 1 sec. I have to let my cat toot in the door. She's here. 1 sec. Okay. We are all one. The third biggest thing that I've learned through meditation. And it's crazy because I close my eyes, shut off all my senses, and then I'm the observer of my thoughts and I'm the observer of the feelings going on in my body, right? And when you get to a point of relaxation, brainwaves are probably in theta. It's like I realize that I am nothing and everything at the same time. And that there really is just an illusion of separation, that we're not actually separate from one another. We just think we are. And that's how we exist here. But it's a very freeing feeling. And it also brings a lot of love to me, experiencing that, because for my whole life, especially with anxiety, seeing and being convinced that everybody's against me and I'm separate from everybody and everybody is talking about me behind my back or whatever those fears were, regardless if that was happening or not, it's okay because everybody is experiencing reality through a completely different lens. Everybody is experiencing it through a completely different perspective in their life, in their ego. But when you take away all of that, then we are one. We are all the same energy, the same spirit existing and co-creating together. And yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing. It was a very freeing thing for me, anyways, to finally experience that through meditation. I think I kind of got it slightly when I heard people talk about that, but to actually experience the embodiment of that and the actual revelation of that through being in pure presence was insane. So yeah, we are all one. Beautiful, beautiful thing. So yeah, I think those are my top 3. Ooh, if you have any questions, let me know. I would love to answer them. My boyfriend and I have been on our YouTube channel for a year and a half having talks like these, talking about, this is not my boyfriend, by the way. This is Toot, the cat. She's really sweet. We we talk about these topics. We talk about meditation and manifestation and things that we've learned, things we're going through. This is an ongoing journey, by the way. Never do I ever want to come off as a guru or somebody that knows it all, because I'm constantly learning myself. I am unraveling the knots in my body. I am dancing between spirit and the ego all the time, as we all are. And I don't believe in hierarchies when it comes to spirituality. We are all, in my opinion, this is what I see, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. So anyways, yeah, it's more so all of us on this journey together. I also have recently been making a lot of short form videos talking about this and got so many questions from people about how do you remove that blocked energy for your manifestations to come through. It's like when I was talking about when I was visualizing for my clear skin. It's when you start visualizing that, it's like this blocked emotion feeling comes up and it feels like it's in the way. It feels like you can't get through it. And obviously, yeah, that comes up almost every single time I want to call something new into my life. It's because the old self, the old ego of me wants to hold on to my past self, my past limitations, my past identifications. And the new self also wants to come through. So there's a little bit of like a knot there. It feels like, honestly, it physically feels like that. So anyways, we wrote a free guide for you guys to help you untangle that knot and clear the way. So your manifestations or anything you're trying to embody can easily flow. So I'll link that below too. And yeah, we also have a book coming out, but I don't know when that's coming out. That might be like next month. We'll talk about that later. All right. Well, love you. Happy meditating.